I believe Tesla stock will go to $10,000 per share by 2030 because of FSD, and that's why I only own Tesla stock. Let's see what Elon Musk had to say about FSD on the latest Tesla stock earnings call.
Let's see. And FSD beta is on track to be released for all of North American customers before the end of this year. And hopefully, if we get regulatory approval, we'll also be releasing it hopefully in Europe and some other parts of the world.
The next question is, how do you feel the progress of FSD is going, and does Andrej Karpathy's leaving have any significant impact on timelines or potential progress?
Well, since Andrej was writing all the code by himself, naturally things have come to a grinding halt. Insert irony. Andrej's obviously Andrej's awesome, and we have tremendous amount of respect for Andrej. He's decided to. I think he wants to contribute more to, I think, core AI at an academic level, and get back to coding individually. So, but we've got a team of about 120 people in our software AI group that are extremely talented, and I think we will have. I'm highly confident we will solve full self-driving, and it still seems to be this year. I know people, they're like, always says that, but it does seem to be like it does seem as though we're converging on solving full self-driving this year.
There's one more thing that Elon mentioned which signals how confident he actually is about full self-driving, which we will play that in a moment. But full self-driving is the main reason why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. In fact, I made a whole video yesterday why I only own Tesla stock, and there's an even, I would say, bigger or equal reason why Tesla will solve full self-driving. But let's see here how confident Elon Musk actually is about full self-driving. He made another comment more towards the end of the Tesla stock earnings call, so I feel like a lot of people missed that remark. So let's play this.
Thanks so much, guys. Could you talk a little bit about the pricing strategy around FSD and as you get closer to this full functionality rolling out and the increased cycle times, how you see that evolving through the balance of this year and into 2023?
Yeah, we will. We will increase the price of FSD sometime later this year. I think, probably just before we go to wide beta. Where wide beta is, anyone who wants to use the beta software with all the caveats associated with that can use it. Then it would make sense to increase the price of FSD. The value of FSD is, I think, extremely high and not well understood by most people. It is basically currently ridiculously cheap, assuming FSD materializes, which it will.
That was a very strong choice of words. Now let me show you this one graph as well. So this graph right here, Dave Lee on his YouTube channel went through this graph that shows cumulative miles driven with FSD beta in millions. Clearly the miles are gonna go up, and then the beta gets released to allow more people. You will see this shooting up. Now the question is, will full self-driving FSD be solved by the end of this year, which Elon has basically said this year? I don't know. Here's what I do know. I am very bullish on Tesla stock. As a millionaire serial entrepreneur investor, that's the only stock I own in my stock portfolio. I own businesses and real estate, but for stocks, that's the only one. And the market could very well drop down. And if it drops down, I will only buy more. But the reason why I don't want to sell and hope that it drops down and then buy in at a lower price, the reason why I really don't want to do that is because what if tomorrow, next month, by the end of the year, we have a video, let's say 7 hours long in New York City, rush hour, traffic also, including bad traffic edge cases, and the car just handles itself completely fine. What will that do to the stock price? I think the stock price will shoot up an insane amount. Also, Dave Lee hinted at a Tesla stock price of $1,150. There's a video coming out on that where I break down his prediction and why he believes that. And that could happen by the end of the year as well. Now, Tesla stock is, of course, it has so much volatility. I made a video, if you haven't seen it, why I only own Tesla stock. You should really watch it. But Tesla innovates so much. And my deep belief is that for Cruise and Waymo and other similar companies like them, Tesla can coexist with them for quite a while because they are really solving different problems, at least short term. And for a long time, I don't think they will really compete with each other. Eventually they will, but within a few years after FSD actually works, a few years after it works, I don't think there's really any competition because Waymo and Cruise, they will just be focused on very small areas, dense cities, whereas Tesla, you could drive it from one city to another city, no problem. It will work basically everywhere. And there will certainly not be enough Tesla vehicles to fulfill all of the demand. So Waymo and Cruise, I think they will have a completely different market for the time being. So I think both approaches can work for the time being. And then eventually, once Tesla can actually scale and produce enough vehicles to satisfy all the demand, then Waymo and Cruise will be doomed, in my opinion, because they have these extremely expensive sensors. And if Tesla can do the same thing for a much, much lower cost, how does Waymo and Cruise even have a chance at that point? I don't think long-term they really have much of a chance unless they transition to a vision approach, which it doesn't seem like they are likely to do. But I think both can coexist for quite some time. And the way I look at Tesla stock, the way I invest is I just look at basically the worst case scenario. And if you buy Tesla stock at basically $700 per share, right now it's a little bit higher than that. I made a video why I think Tesla stock is a safe investment. And you will see that basically if you buy in at today's prices, there's a very good chance, in my opinion, that you will at least match S&P 500 returns of the last 50 years, even if Tesla does not solve FSD, and if Tesla only produces something like 10 million vehicles by 2030, and of course I believe they will produce a lot more, but this is just more of a bad case scenario. So that's why I'm so confident about Tesla stock. FSD is just the icing on the top. Also, if you haven't yet, watch my thoughts broken down about the last today's Tesla stock earnings call. Watch that video, or if you haven't seen why I only own Tesla stock, watch that video next. Thank you for watching. My name is Matt Postis, and I will see you there.